Dear students, welcome to Shasha's virtual classroom. So this is the first session for IGCSE. So the lesson name Introduction to Accounting. So this is a text from Catherine Coupon, and we have another text. This is from this one Frank Wood. Okay, so what is there in accounting in as per Catherine Coupon is the same thing in. So understand and explain difference between bookkeeping, accounting, purpose of measuring for business profit and loss, explain the role of accounting to provide information for monitoring progress. So explain the meaning of assets, liabilities, owner's equity. Explain and apply the accounting equation. So understand the statement of financial position, record assets and liabilities on a specified date. So this is as per Catherine Coupon. So whether it is this book or Frank Wood's business accounting, it is the same thing. So here the name of the lesson is accounting equation and the balance sheet. So ultimately the name of the lesson may be different, but what is the content? So what is the content is the same. So there are several books written by several authors, and again some institutes come up with their own notes, their own syllabus and all those things, but everyone will be within the ambit of syllabus that has been set by IGCSE board. So after you have studied this chapter, you should be able to, what are the objectives? Explain what accounting is about. So what do you mean by accounting? Describe the history of accounting. So explain the relationship between bookkeeping and accounting. So the same thing. Okay. Bookkeeping and accounting. List the main users of accounting information and what accounting information they are interested in. Present and explain the accounting equation. See, bookkeeping, accounting. Explain the relationship between accounting equation and the layout of the balance sheet. Okay. So balance sheet is nothing but statement of financial position. So it is also called statement of financial position. Explain the meaning of the term assets, capital, liabilities, debtors and creditors. So this is given in more detailed way. So describe how accounting transactions affect the items of the accounting equation. So then draw balance sheets after accounting transactions have occurred. So all these things we are going to learn in this in today's class. So it might be a lengthy class, so but we'll discuss the important things, and we will divide it into two parts. So we will divide it into two parts so that it becomes easier for you also to understand, grasp, and even review, so revise or whatever. So we'll start with all these concepts. Okay. So introduction to accounting, or the accounting equation and balance sheet. So this is the name of the lesson. So what is bookkeeping? So accounting equation and bookkeeping. So what is bookkeeping? See, a business needs to maintain details about the transactions being taken place. What are the transactions that take place in a business? Business may sell goods, may buy goods, may make the payments, may make payments over different accounts, like they may pay salaries, stationery. Similarly, they may it may receive even commission. So many aspects are involved. So what does the bookkeeper do? Bookkeeper is the first person. A bookkeeper is the first person who records the transaction from the source. Okay, so he records the transaction, detailed record. Detailed record of accounting information, detailed record of business transactions. Okay. Detailed record of business transaction is is called bookkeeping. So the bookkeeper does everything, he records everything in detail, like he may record the bill number, the amount, the account on which it has been received, so many things. The first source, okay, the first source of record, first source of record is made by bookkeeping. So that is known as bookkeeping. Okay. So then what happens in accounting? So whatever information is derived from this is converted into financial statements. So what are financial statements? Financial statements are nothing but income statement, wherein you find out what is the income we have received, income statement, ultimate income statement, so position statement, so statement of financial position, it's also known as balance sheet, statement of financial position, and cash flow statement. So those are known as financial statements. So based on the data provided by bookkeeping, accounting is done. So what is the need? So any business cannot survive without profits, right? So after you do the business, you have to find out where are we standing, what is the status. So we have to evaluate ourselves. So that is why income statements are made. Income statements, we can find out what is the profit, what are the expenses, what is the revenue, what are the expenses we gain, and what are the expenses we have incurred, and the net amount, what is the net result. So that is what is income statement. So what is statement of financial position? We make a list of what we have and what is owing to the business, what we owe. So many things are there. So that you will understand once we come to equation and related concepts. So as of now, statement of financial position means assets and liabilities. So we will come to know what is this. So what is the need? So we need to understand. So that that is the main criteria for survival. So a lot of notes are available. So in the textbooks, you can refer the textbooks for a detailed discussion on this. So it's easy, so you can understand and you can write something on that. So then we will proceed to the main concept, main theme of this lesson, which is equation and related concepts and position statement. Okay. So you have to remember 5 components. So basically, so what is accounting equation? Accounting equation says assets is equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. So owner's equity is also known as capital. So this is also known as capital is equal to assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. So now you need to understand what are assets, what are liabilities, what is owner's equity. So all these things you need to understand. This is the first thing you need to understand. Okay. So you may refer first lesson in AS level, cash transactions. Therein I have explained the first step in accounting equation. So chapter 1 part 1. So you please refer chapter 1 part 1, and you can cross refer all the cash transactions, credit transactions up to lesson number 9, even up to 10 also. So the same thing you will study even in IGCSE, the same thing you study even in IAS level as well. So there the explanation is in a different way, so that if you want to understand, you can try to see, you can try to understand from there, or you can understand from here, but ultimately the concept is same. Okay, up to lesson number 10, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, up to lesson number 10. The concepts are almost the same. So if you can refer there also. So they are almost done. I have completed till lesson number 10 in AS level. So which you will learn in IGCSE also. But in AS level it will be somewhat more complicated, and it has been explained in some other way. So ultimate explanation and concepts are same. So if you don't want to confuse yourself, you can stick here. So I will be explaining the concept once again here also. Okay. So now see, suppose a person starts a business. Okay, so let us say a person starts a business. So once a person starts a business, what does he use? He will use his money, cash balance. He will have some money in bank. He may have his own building. He may have his own machinery. He may have his own furniture. He may have his own furniture. So he may have his own computer also. So let's assume he has a cash balance $10,000. Bank balance is another $5,000. Building is another $30,000. Machinery is another $10,000. Furniture is another $5,000. So computer is another $10,000. So let's assume this is just for assumption for you to understand. Okay. So he has started, the person whoever he is, he has started a business with all these things. Okay. So the business will be using all these things to run the business. So business obviously needs all these resources. So these are resources. So 10,000, 5,000, 30,000, 10,000, 5,000, 10,000. What is the total amount? Total amount 10, 15. So 15, 45, 55, 60, 70,000. So it's just illustrative. The amounts it may be much more, but just for you to understand. Okay. So the business owner. So the business owner has invested all these resources in the business. So now there is one more concept known as business entity concept. Okay. So what is business entity concept? What does the business entity concept say? Business entity concept says these are the assets of the business. Okay. These are the assets of the business. So what are the assets? Assets are some resources which are used by the business, which have been provided by the owner to the business to earn the revenue. So that is what is assets. See, it is very important. Very initially you may find it somewhat technical, but business, you have to understand accounting. This is very important. So this is very important for you to understand. So assets are, what are assets? Assets are resources used by the business to continue running the business. So now what does the business entity concept say? The business entity concept says that so much of assets are owned by business, but so much of money is owed to the owner. So this is known as owner's equity. So how much is owner's equity? Owner's equity is 70,000. So this is a liability, owner's equity. So owner's equity is the business entity. The business has to pay back the owner $70,000. The business has to pay back $70,000 to the owner. Why? Because the owner has given all these resources to the business. So understand, this is very clear cut concept. So this is the main concept. So if you understand this concept, we can move further. So this is very important concept, very important, very easy concept. So you may take some time to understand this, but please understand. So the business has assets as well as liability. Assets is something it has, and liability is something it owes. To whom it owes? It owes to the owner. Why? Because the owner has given the resources to the business. The owner has given resources to the business. That is why the business owes back. Okay. So in that sense, should we consider that owner is an outsider? Yes. Owner is considered as an outsider. So that is why the concept of capital owner's equity will come into picture. So whatever money the owner, the business owner puts into the business is referred as capital. The resources which are used by the business are assets. The money, that is the money. So the liability, which is a commitment which business has to pay back to the owner for providing the assets to the business, is known as owner's equity. So always assets are equal to liabilities. So suppose this person, this business, he has taken loan, bank loan of $100,000. So there is cash balance, no, bank balance of 100,000. So now the assets are 170,000. So liability is also 170,000. Why? Because the business has taken resources of, see, bank loan means what you will get? You will get bank balance. Bank balance will increase. So the loan is given by bank, so the bank balance will increase. So the business has to pay back. It is a commitment, right? So you have to pay back. No, so how can you cannot enjoy the money and you cannot say goodbye. So you have to pay back. Bank loan is a liability. So it means owner's equity plus capital plus liabilities is equal to assets. Okay. Owner's equity plus liabilities is equal to assets. So what are liabilities? Even owner's equity is also a liability, but it is internal liability. Internal liability means it has to pay to an insider, the person, the owner. But liability, bank loan is an outsider. You have to pay. So even this also you have to pay. So always assets are equal to owner's equity plus liabilities, and this is known as accounting equation. So now you have understood what are assets, what is owner's equity, what is bank loan, so what is liability. So the three concepts are clear. What are the concepts? Assets, owner's equity, liabilities. So what is the equation? What is the accounting equation? Accounting equation is assets is equal to liabilities plus capital of owner's equity. Okay. So in AS level, most of the times they use the word owner's equity. They never use the word capital. So some authors, they prevent themselves from using the word capital. So don't get confused, and ultimately the concept is important. So this is what it is. So the concept is crystal clear that assets is equal to liabilities plus capital or owner's equity. So this is what we have learned till now. Accounting and related concepts. So accounting equation you understood. And this itself is also known as position statement. So what are the assets available on a particular day? The assets available are, these are the assets available, these are the assets that are available, and these are the liabilities that the business owes. So this, when we put this in the form of a statement, it is known as statement of financial position or balance sheet. Okay, so we will continue. Maybe in the next class we will work out some questions. So we will discuss this concept thoroughly. So what is the plan? The plan is we will discuss questions from Catherine Kukom book, and even Franco. We will discuss. So I will share you the questions so that they will be available on the screen. You can see on the screen. Then maybe you can pause the video and then you can answer yourself. Then after some time you can just check whether everything is correct. So ultimately, after doing all the lessons, we will work out question papers as well. So we will be solving all the question papers. So possibly how much our question papers are possible, MCQs, so different versions, all those question papers also will be solving, so that you are crystally very strong in your to write your board exams. Okay, so please subscribe, share, please let others also know about this classroom, so virtual classroom. So help each other. So help me grow the channel also, help me reach out to more students. So if you really like it, so if you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section, so that I explain to you more and more different ways, so that it is clear. You can just check out all my other lessons, and if you find any errors, or if you have found any mistakes or something like that, you can please let me know, so that I rectify it and again I can improve myself. Okay? So till then, good night, good day, have a good luck, bye bye. So see you in the next class.